Hey everybody, happy Monday. It's Monday the 27th of December 2023. Please remember that I am a clairvoyant, clairaudient, so everything is my psychic opinion. Although it's for entertainment purposes only, I try to put out good information, so continue to do your own research, form your own opinion. The full description is down in the box, along with the link for the Buy Me a Coffee nonsense. Please remember to check to make sure that you are still subscribed, because YT is doing its nonsense as usual. So, I guess, whatever. Thank you for the compliments on the hair. Yeah, it's kind of, actually, this is back to, it's about one level lighter than my actual real hair color, dark auburn. So, it's, yeah, I'm not a ginger, I'm a copperhead, which is completely different. So, let's get started. I mean, when I start going through my news feeds this morning, of course, I started out with our favorite Swede. And he has some observations about people who are purebloods, of course. He had some very interesting comments that he made that I'm in agreement with about Slovakia and Sweden and Australia, how they've been dragged through the mud and forced into doing things that were not beneficial to those countries. All from these people who want to, it's almost like we're living in a James Bond movie. Remember, Hollyweird actually foreshadows stuff that's going to be coming up on us within the next 10 years. And then our favorite Swede also, he made the comment which kind of rings home for me. He stated that if people don't like your opinions, start a channel. Well, next Monday, December 4th, it'll be the 1-year anniversary since I first went live on any channel, and that's thank you to Fiona and Graham. Yes, Avid Gardener and Graham the Baron Hesketh. So it's right now, we know, many of us do know that Graham had to have some surgery. And so we all need to start sending out super healing energy and prayers to Graham that he makes a full and complete recovery. Can we all do that, please? Okay, just to get back to some of the other stuff. I am avoiding right now talking about the human body exchange that's taking place in the eastern Mediterranean countries. We don't have complete information that hasn't been released yet, and I am waiting for some further reliable information before I go any further. So to get back, there is a lot of false propaganda being put out by Hamas. And they're like promoting all the occult crap. But please, please remember that all these occults were created with the major assistance under all the Democratic presidents dating back to Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, Obama, the Biden-Obama term that we're now existing in, they had control of the 3-letter agencies. The Democrats created all this. all these horrible, horrible political groups in order to cause worldwide disruption. Hey, when a Republican was in charge, we had control of our borders. But when we get these liberal demon quacks in charge, it's not a refugee, it's not a migrant situation, it's an invasion. And what happened in Vermont? Anybody know where we can send contributions to the defense fund? And it is ironic that that Bentley that went boom was headed for a Kiss concert. Remember, both the two main players in the band Kiss, Gene and Paul, both had brisses. Hopefully people are smart enough to know where I'm going with that. But yes, there's a lot of information happening, and it is basically they're trying to flip the script, saying Hamas is good and Israel is bad. Well, go back, watch the history. Jews have been in that part of the world. They were the first big religion. And multiple times, Palestine was offered its own state, country, and they refused at every offer. Do your homework. Take the time, watch Lawrence of Arabia. And by the way, where are all these stupid women who wore their pink pussy hats? I think that's kind of ironic because pussy is used to allude to a piece of female anatomy. None of these Me Too people have come out. What are you afraid of? I started my fight against the discrimination, harassment, and abuse from male film production people in 2010. I started in 2010. When did these stupid women start? Long after my case was filed with the EEOC. But yeah, we've got right now, people are starting to get worried about a red wave not being able to take place here in America. Folks, the way we make sure it's a safe and secure election, please go to your local county clerk's office. Start a petition stating you want all electronic voting machines removed from your county. Go back to basic paper ballots that go into a box, and when the polls close at whatever time, every single vote is hand counted, and verified tallies are then delivered to the county clerk's office. Yes. Let's go back to complete paper ballots. The only way you get a mail-in ballot is if you are in the military, out of the country, working for the government, out of the country. A valid excuse. You can't go to your local polling place because of work or family obligations. Get rid of this electronic nonsense, because how many kids do we know that they're little hackers? How often do you get flagged and notified on your credit check app that there's been a security breach? Do we know these electronic polling machines haven't been compromised? Yeah, there was just a glitch on my computer with the camera. Yeah. If a kid can hack somebody's cell phone, what makes you secure in the knowledge that your vote is being tallied accurately? We've got to start at the county level to eliminate the electronic voting machines. Okay? And speaking of elections, what's something that I saw is kind of ironic. Over in Bangladesh, people are standing up because they don't like the current government, and so a lot of people are throwing their hat into the ring, including this guy, Shakib Al Hassan, a cricket player. Yeah. So a local celebrity, a cricket player, is now joining Bangladeshi politics. So let's see what happens. One thing I did see on the news that, okay, back in the day, I'm talking, this happened, when did it happen? I'd say it was either summer of 75 or 76. There was a big stink happening because there were some people who were, let's put it, affluent, and they were cruising. They went through the Suez Canal and down the Red Sea into the Gulf of Aden. Well, somebody on board the super yacht got sick and needed immediately emergency medical care. I mean, the guy went into an appendicitis attack. So they pulled into a Yemen port. The guy was rushed to the hospital, had his appendix removed. Well, they came on, and because the yacht had both men and women on board, and the women were dressed, this was the 70s. Look at the fashion, the styles. Basically, the Yemen government refused to release the guy from the hospital. Basically, they locked down that super yacht, could not pull out of the port, they were basically holding them for hostage. And the only way that yacht got out of Yemen water, the main guy, the UK Consul General, literally had to walk that guy out of the hospital, arm in arm, into a car, onto the yacht, and the UK Consul General literally had to stay on that yacht until they got into international waters. And then he was picked up by another non-Yemen military vessel. Well, these stupid-ass Houthis are at it again. Again, they tried to seize an oil tanker in the Gulf of Aden. Right now, it was a U.S. naval ship that quashed this Yemenite Houthi pirate adventure. Yes, we have ships that are basically in the South China Sea that are kind of like hovering around that area, that southern border of South China Sea, the Indian Ocean. They're being staged. Thank God one of our ships was there, because the tanker had a multinational crew, and I believe it was registered out of the UK. So, yeah, the U.S. Navy is basically keeping the shipping lanes safe, because Yemen likes to take, basically, not only are they scumbuckets, but now they're trying this little pirate stuff, just like the Somalis did. Well, it's time to make sure that every guy on every cargo ship knows how to use an Uzi or an AK-47. So when they see these stupid little pirate boats coming and trying to take over, they can blast basically perforate the idiots. Because I was always told, if you see a Yemenite, and you could always tell by the way they dressed and the way they smelt, stay away. Go find the nearest female, stand close to her, Safety in numbers. The Yemenites have been quietly been receiving aid from the Democrats and have been supplied by the three-letter agencies that the Democrats have in control right now. So, yeah. And what's getting everybody in the Middle East, the puppet government set up by the Democrat three-letter agencies, is that the Saudi Crown Prince, his narrative, saying no assistance to Yemen, Iran, or Qatar. Qatar is the money laundry of the Emirates. So basically, you've got to stay put and support the other Sunni governments. Saudi, Jordan, Egypt. Why do they keep their borders locked? Why aren't they accepting any refugees? Because they don't want the shit from the people created by the Democrats. Yes. I wonder if any Vegas sports book has put a date for Barry going to play Superman yet. Yes, I have gotten images and things that are going on in the few people that are still held by Hamas. The foreign nationals are basically who they're allowing to survive. And they're allowing people who are too young or too old to really remember details. Very young, very old, and the foreign nationals. That's all that's left. Pretty much. And so I don't want to go into more because I, and like some other women who have channels, we do see some god-awful stuff. And because people don't need to hear about it, we don't talk about it. We talk about it among ourselves. So we do keep it so friends of mine know that, hey, on this day I had this vision happen, or they call me up and they say, hey, what do you think of this? And it's kind of, we work together behind the scenes. We document privately because the world really isn't ready for what we have seen. We kind of have to be very careful about what we tell people. And like I've said time and time again, everything is for entertainment purposes only. It's because we just can't, and people are not ready. Just like people were like, hey, the movie Contagion was put out to prep people for this bullshit that happened in 2021. There's been other movies where you have, like, even though I don't agree with him all the time, he's a short little asshole. Find the movie Wag the Dog with Dustin Hoffman. Yes, he is that short. Some of the stuff that goes on, yeah, a lot of the idiot Tom Cruise movies. I mean, he's another one with Napoleon complex. I'm taller than him. He comes up, when I stand straight up, Tom Cruise, his head is like right at my eyebrows. I'm a good 3 to 4 inches taller than him. I put on a pair of heels, I'm dwarfing him. Yeah, those Mission Impossible stuff, those are just stories that happened with a certain agency, and so they just sanitize it so the Names have been changed. Name and location, but the scenario is still the same thing. Remember, Ian Fleming worked for the OSS during World War II. And then he was sent to by the British government to go hang out in the Caribbean. And out of boredom, that's when he started writing his James Bond books. Ian Fleming was basically retelling stuff that they did and stuff that happened during the 30s and 40s. And the UK government does admit some of the things happened. And some of them were going on and on. Hey, why wasn't Edward at the state dinner last week? Because Eddie's picking up the slack. The work used to be divvied between Edward and Andy. And because Andy has to be kept safe, because he has the dirt on the Miami guy, Eddie and Sophie are caught picking up all the slack. That's why they're so busy all over the place. Kath and Will, they have to stay home because of those kids. I mean, Will goes around and does what he needs to do. Eddie's picking up the slack because, yeah, he's far enough down the food chain, but still high enough to be with the HRH. Yeah. You see, if Henry had paid attention to school and wasn't a brat, he could have been the next version of James Bond. But he fucked it up. Beep. Sorry. But I'm not monetized. Hey, they want to bleep me out. Whatever. I'm not monetized. I guess I hit the 500. They popped in a couple adverts, and now I'm back under the 490s. So, yeah, I'm on. Go ahead over to the Green R and Elon stuff, and I think I'm going to go for the. I am going through all the T's and C's on the BC platform also. So, I know the BC platform is the wild, wild west of videos. And when I do, I'll let you know. But everyone have a good Monday. Yes, we have our first definite snowfall yesterday. But I'm busy doing stuff. So everyone have a good day, good evening, and I'll have a video up for you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.